Good morning, it's Wednesday, June the 25th, and you're watching AGORACOM TV. I'm your host, Paul Kondakos. AGORACOM TV is a daily, fast-paced, edgy show bringing you the best press releases at the open, along with the halt, so you can hopefully profit from them and potentially find your next great small cap investment. I've got 5 great press releases for you this morning. They're both from the U.S. and the Canadian side, primarily resource, and I have no halts to report on at this time. However, that could change by the end of the program. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Our top story of the day is Silver Eagle Mines trades on the TSX under the symbol SEG. Disclaimer time, they are an AGORACOM client. However, as always, we recommend you do your due diligence on all the companies you see on AGORACOM TV. Silver Eagles are reporting on their pre-feasibility results for their wholly owned Miguel Alza mine in Zacatecas, Mexico. We got great numbers coming out of the company, so just sit back and listen. The study includes geological, mining, metallurgical, mineral process, and economic analysis of the Miguel Alza mine. In other words, they're giving us everything we need to know about the mine, its feasibility, and its production. Pre-feasibility highlights include that they've established probable reserves of approximately 1.95 million tons, grading 0.17 grams per ton of gold, 137 grams per ton of silver, 2.15% lead, and 2.25% zinc. And this is sufficient to support a mine life of approximately 7.5 years at a projected milling rate of 600 to 850 tons per day. So great numbers coming from the company. In addition, there is an inferred resource of 0.86 million tons, grading 0.23 grams per ton of gold, 242 grams per ton of silver, 1.55% lead, and 2.42% zinc. Now, when the mine is at full production, the average annual output is projected to be approximately 900,000 ounces of silver contained in approximately 10,000 tons each of zinc and lead concentrates. A little bit about Silver Eagle. They're a Canadian-based mining company exploring and redeveloping a historic silver property in the heart of the Mexican precious metals belt. The company's primary asset is its wholly owned Mexican subsidiary, San Pedro Resources, which controls the fully permitted Miguel Alza mine, the mine that we've just been talking about, and adjacent properties in Zacatecas, Mexico. Company's last at 55 cents off their 52-week high of $1.37. Moving on, Halo Resources trades on the venture under the symbol HLO, and for our European friends, trades on the Frankfurt under the symbol HRL. The company has announced that major massive and semi-massive sulfide intersections at the Sheridan Bob Lake deposit further expand the size of the ore lens. The thickest sulfide intersection on the Sheridan VMS property to date was intersected in hole DH08125, and that intersection was 33 meters of 1.1% copper, 0.9% zinc, and that includes within that intersect 10 meters of 1.9% copper and 2.1% zinc. So good numbers coming out of the company. Got a quote from Linda Bloom, President and CEO of Halo Resources. Quote, "This drilling demonstrates that the mineralized zone on the Bob Lake deposit has the potential to have significantly thicker intercepts than previously reported, which will positively affect the reported tonnage for this deposit. Because of the shallow plunge of this zone, it is anticipated that a large portion of the deposit will be less than 200 meters from the surface and likely amenable to open pit extraction." A little bit about Halo. They're a Canadian-based resource company focused on the acquisition and development of near-term production stage gold and base metal deposits. Currently, the company owns or has an interest in 3 projects: the Sheridan VMS copper zinc property in Manitoba and the West Red Lake and Durport gold properties in Ontario. Companies last at 21 cents off their 52-week high of 74 cents. Moving on, Neelam Resources on the U.S. side, OTCBB, NILR, and for our Europeans on the Frankfurt under the symbol 3NL. Once again, disclaimer time, Nilam is an AGORACOM client. However, as always, the news stands on its own 2 feet. The company has announced that it's begun a schedule for production of its 1.2 million tons of high-grade tailings on their wholly owned Lipa property. What are tailings? Tailings are produced following partial or complete extraction of the metals during the milling phase. They contain metals such as copper, gold, silver, which have not been extracted during the processing phase. So originally, a company's gone in there, extracted this material, and didn't process it properly, or didn't process it because they didn't have the technology at the time to extract all the precious metals. Now, the previous owners of the property have completed an evaluation of the tailings, and they estimated that it contains approximately 1 million tons at a grade of 0.77% copper and 8.7 grams per ton silver and 2 grams per ton of gold. So very impressive numbers coming out of the company with 1 million tons of at the grades that I just mentioned. Now, the company plans to reprocess these tailings and will use the funds to finance completion of the infrastructure necessary to move the mine into full production. Neelam anticipates completing the infrastructure necessary to have all 3 of its mines into production within the next 2 years. And I've got a quote from Mr. Len DeMelt, who states, "We hope to have the company producing these tailings within the next months. Native Peruvian mining methods were very crude and inefficient. They leave behind a significant amount of tailings that Neelam can now profitably mine. Reprocessing these tailings will provide substantial added revenue for the company. We at Neelam Resources are committed to environmentally conscious mining practices. We believe that reducing the harmful environmental effects of gold and silver mining to be in the interest of both the citizens of Peru as well as our shareholders." A little bit about Neelam Resources. They were established to focus on Peru's fast-growing precious and base metals reserves to become one of Peru's important foreign metal producers. Neelam Resources is a gold production company that is actively seeking more properties for its land portfolio in Peru and other countries in South America. They're last at 29 cents off their 52-week high of $2.28. Moving on, International Northair Mines trades on the venture under the symbol INM. They've announced assay results from their second phase drill program, which was recently completed at the El Reventon project, which is located in the in the state of Durango, Mexico. 12 of the 15 holes from the current program at the Reventon breccia intersected significant silver values. Highlights include, we've got the biggest hole, the biggest intercept, 120 meters, and this is from surface, of 100 grams per ton of silver. Additional highlights include 91 meters of 87 grams per ton of silver, containing an intercept of 19.8 meters of 176 grams per ton of silver. And additionally, we've got 80 meters of 71.9 grams per ton of silver, containing an intercept of 7.6 meters of 235 grams per ton of silver. So impressive numbers coming out of International Northair Mines. A little bit about the company. They've been aggressively pursuing mineral exploration opportunities in Mexico through a generative exploration program for the better part of the last decade. Companies last at 12 cents off their 52-week high of 32 cents. And last but not least, we've got Strongbow Exploration, trades on the venture under the symbol SBW. We've got an update on the exploration activities of its wholly owned Nickel King and Snowbird nickel projects in southern Northwest Territories and northern Saskatchewan. Exploration is now complete at Nickel King, and we've got results which include drill hole NK0835, which has returned 52 meters grading 0.67% nickel, which includes 4 meters grading 1.47% nickel, 0.3% copper, and 0.061% cobalt. In addition, we've got drill hole 36, which has returned 33.5 meters, grading 0.68% nickel. So good numbers coming out of the company. A little bit about Strongbow. They're engaged in the search for economic mineral deposits in Canada. Exploration during 2008 will focus on the company's 100% owned Nickel King and Snowbird nickel properties. Company's last at 28 cents off its 52-week high of 78 cents. That's a wrap for today. I'm your host, Paul Kondakos. Make sure you tune in again tomorrow. We've got more great press releases and halts at the open for you.